Now, just a little warning before we begin, there will be major spoilers in this video for the 5th episode of Lord of the Rings of Power. So if you have not seen it yet, and you don't want anything ruined, it is a really good time to click away. Alright, so what did you think of episode 5?
I think I get more confused as more things try to be explained.
Interesting.
Because, and I know I had an in-depth conversation with you last night, I'm like, so the Cimmerals, they're name-dropping stuff that is like, if you know the lore, you know what we're talking about. But then apparently they're getting the lore wrong on the things, or changing the lore, so I get really, really confused. Because I'm like, okay, you keep talking about Cimmerals, and as the person who has only familiarity with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, I don't know what the Cimmerals are, so I don't understand why they're so important and why they turned into Mithril and all that magical stuff.
That part I don't understand either.
So I'm like, so you want me to read more on Lord of the Rings because I want to know what the Cimmerals are. But then I ask you what the Cimmerals are, and you're like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, you pointed out kind of the irony because it interests you to learn more because you're probably, if you know nothing about any of this, you're probably really confused. And then you're going to go read what it is, and it's not going to make any sense.
Yes, we have the Cimmerals, and you explained to me, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And now we have the Great Elf Plague. They'll have COVID and need mithril masks. Yeah,
I don't know what that is all about at all. They're implying one of the Silmarils is responsible for the creation of Mithril.
Yep.
Which makes absolute... Mithril is not like some kind of like magical... I mean, it's a precious metal. It's, you know, the dwarves, obviously, it was, you know, important to them. But it's not like some kind of like weird magic metal that the elves need to survive because it has the light of the trees of Valinor in there.
No, it has the magic light from one of the elves and the darkness from the Balrog, and the Valinor struck it with lightning, and it was a Cimmeril.
I don't know.
It's really important.
I don't know. I mean, one of the Silmarils is in the... I mean, there's one in the earth, there's one in the sky, there's one in the water. That's in the elements of Arda, basically.
What about the one in the tree? I'm sorry, I gotta stop asking about the one in the tree.
No, I mean, I guess maybe they're implying the one that gets, because Feanor's, you know, sons, they have this pledge to go find them, and they want to get rid of them because, well, they don't want to get rid of them. They just go to war to possess them, essentially, and they can't hold them because they burn their skin. And so one of them basically just jumps into a fiery pit with one of the Silmarils. I don't know if they're implying like that's somehow part of the Mithril. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. I don't know. I get really confused. The Durin and Elrond thing is still really strong, but I was like, why did everyone have to lie to Elrond? Everyone had to lie. You couldn't tell him in the first place? Because all he did was say the same thing to his friend.
Yeah. And what was weird about that is, like, Elrond's like, you know, Gil-galad is, like, asking him, like, whoa, do they have the Mithril or not? It's like, I made a pact with Durin not to say anything. Like, oh, so you're confirming they have. Thank you for the wink and the nod. You should have been just like...
It's like the worst. I won't tell you anything.
But I am telling you. It's like, oh, geez, dude, you broke your vow from about 2 weeks ago, or however long travel takes in Middle-earth, in their version of Middle-earth here.
We all know that the Balrog, Durin's Bane, eventually is going to come and destroy him, and bad things are going to happen.
Well, that's in the Third Age. That's a long... I know, Durin the Sixth is the one who...
But it's because they dug too deep and all that. Now I'm like, wait, so was this the elves' fault?
Yes.
Why are the elves just the big D-bags of Middle-earth right now?
I feel we're going to have
Everyone hates them.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have a massive acceleration where the elves are going to, like, man, we need more of that mithril stuff, otherwise we're going to die.
Make them sound like coke addicts.
Well...
You got any more of that mithril?
You got any more of that mithril? I need a... I'm not going to go there. But anyway, so I'm assuming they're going to make, you know, they're going to cause the dwarfs to start digging too greedily and too deep, and we're going to wake up the Balrog way early. We're going to wake him up here in the Second Age, and he's going to be Durin's Bane because he's this Durin's Bane. He's
Elrond's Bane at this point because their love and brotherly friendship is what's going to cause this.
I mean, I think there's almost no way we don't wake up the Balrog right now. I mean, he's down there. He's been there since the War of Wrath. He, you know, flees into the Misty Mountains, so he's down there. Why not wake him up early?
He's just taking a nap, though.
Yeah, he's just sleeping. Maybe they wake him up twice.
I
don't know.
don't understand. Why did Gil-galad not tell him? Why did Celebrimbor not tell him?
You don't because think he's too close to Durin, I guess.
Yeah, but he's saying the same thing to Durin he would have said in the first place. Hey, buddy.
It is weird because there's really no reason. I mean, they could have been like, hey...
If there was mithril there first.
It's like he was, I guess Elrond was supposed to be intuitive enough to go there and be like, learn about the Mithril without knowing he was supposed to learn about the Mithril, then make this secret and then tell them anyway. I don't know what their
It played out
line of thought was.
exactly as they planned.
Yeah, it happened precisely as we meant it to.
Well, I don't understand what the deal is with the elf plague. He's like, look at this tree. It's not doing well.
There's no deal with it. I don't know
when
what
this
the
tree
deal
dies,
is.
we're all going to diminish. What? Well, I don't understand.
Well, they don't explain what. It's just some kind of darkness is taking over, and I don't know. I don't know.
And they somehow need Mithril to survive, which I don't understand because it gets pretty dark later.
It has the light of the first trees in them now. The trees of Valinor are in them.
I don't get it.
No, because
and then I ask you to tell it to me, and you don't know the answer either.
I don't know why.
No,
I mean, they're implying that the elves are diminishing, and they need the light from Mithril, which comes from the trees of Valinor. That's what they're essentially saying. They need to, I don't know, bask in it or wear it or consume it.
Well, they could just leave.
I don't know, or build their cities out of it.
They said they could go back to their little island across the way.
Their little island paradise, yeah.
Yeah, so they could just leave. They'll all survive then. They don't need to.
Well, then, but Middle Earth will fall.
They don't know that.
As we see, men are no good, which is that men are
just
pretty
those men
corruptible. Sure.
So we switch it to the other group then.
Sure. Let's move on to some of the men groups. That sounded weird.
Let's work the Southlanders group first.
Okay.
Bronwyn still somehow in charge of the
everybody just listens. Yeah, well, not everybody. I mean, half her team.
I don't understand
left.
why everyone listens to it. Just because she's the first one who's like, "Hey guys, we gotta go."
She brought the orc head. She was like, "Hey, orc head, I am clearly the leader because I killed an orc."
Is everyone else in that village just so weak and scared and I don't know that they're all just like, "We'll listen to whoever talks to us," because the rest of them listen to the crazy old man. Have you heard of Sauron?
Have you heard of Sauron? Let's go worship him. Oh, you're not Sauron? I'll worship you anyway.
I need to kill that kid? Why not? It's just my son. I don't know.
I don't think it's his son, but yeah.
I think he would have.
I think he would have.
He seems so dedicated to, we'll survive
He seems so dedicated to Sauron, and then he finds out this elf isn't Sauron, and he's like, I'll worship you anyway. Ha ha!
So I guess that's confirmation that Adar is not Sauron.
He should have said, have you heard of Sauron? To him. To Adar.
Adar looked mad.
Adar doesn't look like he likes Sauron.
He looked mad that he was like...
You think I'm Sauron?
Yeah.
Is he mad because, like, how dare you think I could be as great as Sauron? Or is he like...
Sauron used the orcs. I am their friend.
Yeah,
their
I love
father.
them, even though I burn them in the sun for reasons.
I want them to feel how I feel in the sun. What?
I don't...
You know that they burn.
But they don't burn.
Is he trying to redeem the orcs?
Orcs are not vampires. They do not burn in the sun.
No, he's trying to redeem them so that they don't burn in the sun.
Yes, but he's... I don't know what he's doing.
But he still wants the sword that somehow can control the Southlanders, is what we've learned.
Yes, because...
Somehow this magic sword that even the Southlanders can activate can give you power over them and control them somehow.
Nothing...
It's redeeming them, saying, look, all of our past actions weren't because we were really bad, it's because this magical sword was controlling us.
And budget Aragorn, Walmart Aragorn, is going to come across the sea.
Around Aragorn.
Rondicorn?
Around Aragorn.
No, isn't it Halbrand I'm talking about?
Oh, you've called Arondir budget Aragorn as well.
There's a lot of budget Aragorns in this. No, Halidor is budget Legolas.
But don't worry, we're still talking about Arondir though. In Bronwyn, in Theo.
Yeah, Arondir.
Don't worry though. All those orcs coming, they lit the watchtower.
What? Rohan is gonna come?
Signaling for, I guess, somebody that they're there.
Rohan that doesn't exist?
Why
don't we just have Rohan exist?
I don't understand why they don't just flee. Well, we see what direction they're coming from, my lord.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Let's turn around and go the other way. We're going to fight for the Southlands, this handful of people?
For what?
They don't care about the Southlands anyway. I've never seen them attached to any place. They left their house like nothing.
It seems like they have no other than Bronwyn. They seem to have no capable fighter among them, and they're going to what?
Hey, Theo's learning how to use a bow.
Yeah, well, yeah, they got budget Legolas as well, but I mean, they have they probably got 5 fighters in their whole group, right? That would have any kind of chance against an orc, and there's 1,000 orcs coming. I don't know, hundreds. Seems like quite a few of them. I don't care what kind of high ground you have. Sometimes the numbers.
They're going to knock the whole tower onto them.
Yeah, I know. I figured that one out. They made that one a little too obvious.
Yeah, they should have just saved that to a little closer to the fight. Now we have a whole week to wonder how they're going to bring the tower down.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, don't worry, guys. I found explosives in the tower.
Yeah, Saruman was making them over in that other tower. Oh, wait, that hasn't happened yet either.
Oh my goodness. And I really want to like the show, but they get so confused and things don't make sense. I don't know why they're just not leaving, why they're not running, why they're not seeking aid.
They are
as
waiting
refugees.
for the Numenorians to come. Who
They don't know the Numenorians are coming.
Well, they are coming, and somehow they're going to get
And
there in time.
Apparently, they're going to hate Halbrand, so... Because Halbrand was, like, cryptically saying, I was a jerk to those people. I did something absolutely horrible to them. He makes it sound like he was alive generations ago, which...
He's got that Numenorian blood in him.
He's a Dunedain.
Yeah, he's been alive for 1,000 years.
Long time. Galadriel's still confusing me. Why are you still fighting, then? It's vengeance? No, not vengeance. I just can't stop. So no, it's not vengeance, it's obsession.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do. I mean, I'm clearly not married and don't have a child.
She's so weird, though. She's like, every minute they grow stronger. I'm like, you've been hunting them for a long time. How do you even know?
I know she's like, they're going to attack right
Sauron's like catching up on his Netflix right now. Granted, he's like, it's not my time.
Granted, like you said, she's been hunting them for like the last few hundred years. Can't find any trace of them. Like she finds little traces here and there, but now she's like, no, now I know they're like in full power.
Now I found this scroll that's been sitting in Numenor for hundreds of years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the Southlands. I never thought to check the Southlands.
No.
We don't have a watchtower stationed in the Southlands.
Oh my god, I went north. I should have went south.
Oh.
Went too far north. She went across the wall. Just kidding. That's obviously Game of Thrones, but...
I just get confused, that's all.
No, I get confused too. I think everybody gets confused. Like,
Halbrand's done something horrible, but Galadriel continues using everybody to her own means, and then accuses him of using her.
Yeah, but it might look like that you used me. Ha, gotcha, checkmate.
Well, she's using the Numenorians now. She's using their fears, like Halbrand told her, using their fears to lead these people to possibly their slaughter or looking around until they die of old age, like her elves didn't. She uses everybody. She's a user.
She is. She's not a good person. Or elf.
She doesn't feel like one. But see, it's all going to pay off. It has to for her, right? There has to be a justification at the end to go, look, all of her craziness was totally...
Well, Sauron is coming back. We know he's coming back, right? I mean, so she is right.
She's right, but she's been right for hundreds of years.
Have you heard of Sauron? He's coming back in a few hundred years. I'm still enjoying the Who's Sauron game that we play every week.
Oh, yeah. Because they like to shake things up. But we're not.
Oh, I thought we might
Halbrand might still be Sauron.
He might be, but I don't think so.
Well, they're trying to really... This week, they're pushing you towards one character. Last week, they pushed you towards someone else.
Yeah.
Continuing on, though.
Oh, we had new characters, too.
Elendil and Isildur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like...
I like that he wasn't going to play favorites with his son.
I still like this weird relationship he has with these friends of his. Like, I love that in last week's episode, like, Isildur, he let, the boat, he let the rope go, and his two friends try to catch it, and, like, you all three are out. Like, for one... I haven't made a mistake in like 1,000 times. You even said it. You've done that 1,000 times before. You screwed up once and you get fired. That sucks.
Yeah.
And then your friends get fired because I don't know, they were associated with you. That was weird.
That's real nice.
And so now we still have this weird friendship with those three.
Oh, they're still friends. They forgive him because one of them's a lieutenant now and they're going to Middle Earth. They can go start again.
One of them struck a blow against...
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Galadriel putting on a show.
We were predicting that Isildur was actually going to pick up a sword and he was going to earn his keep, but...
I'm glad they didn't because that would have been too... Because especially when
Halbrand had to show off, look at me, flip with the sword.
Flourish, yeah,
she's like, I don't know blacksmiths that could do that.
Like the way you said that, like she's like, ooh, I don't know.
No, it reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean because Will Turner could fight with a sword because he made swords and practiced with them every day.
Oh. Yes,
wouldn't you want to know at least a little bit of basic swordsmanship to make a sword to know if it's good balance?
Well, yeah, you want to know how you want a sword to feel in your hand to use. Right. Sure, as a blacksmith.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's interesting. Yep. Then there's this weird news story.
Oh yeah.
Pharazôn.
Pharazôn. Yeah.
Cayman and Irian.
I never remember the new character names, sir.
I don't understand why Irian is like, I hate elves all of a sudden. She's like, elves are bad.
I don't know.
Sabotage. We won't go help them dirty elves. I don't want to help elves. Her
ears.
Dad speaks Elvish.
Yeah.
His name means like elf friend or something, remember?
It's my dad, elf friend. I hate the elves, but My dad is named after not hating them.
Like, why does she have this really weird hatred of the elves? Especially after, they're like, dude, they're not going to take our jobs. It's okay. They're not coming to take our jobs. They actually want us to leave. They're not coming here to take our jobs.
Yes.
Pharazôn's like, no, man, there's economic gain in this, and someday we will be in charge of the elves because we're that cool, and...
Sure
you will, Great Waver.
Sure. Yeah. Great. Could you call him Great Waver? That's a good name for him because he does bring on the Great Waver.
And Kevin he's whipped.
Kevin?
I'm like, Kevin? He's like, oh, my girlfriend doesn't want us to go. And she's like, well, talk to Pharazôn. And he's like, he doesn't listen to me. Use other methods. I'll go burn down a couple ships for her.
His ears close when I speak to him. Can we stop with the flowery...
lofty, flowery.
Yes. Jeez, man, it's cringe. Like, it's all right when you sprinkle it and when it makes sense, but like when every character has to speak in riddles, it gets really old.
Well, I just think it's hilarious that they've gone on one date and he is so obsessed with her he's going to go burn down the Navy.
Well, they do strange things for love. Really
Clearly.
Strange things.
Like, that could have gotten him executed.
Killed? Executed? For sure, yeah. That's basically treason at that point. You're
yes.
destroying warships. Yeah.
And Isildur earned his place on the ship by saving one man's life.
Yes.
Yep. But he gets to go clean out the stables, which made me happy.
Ha-ha.
I was like, there are still moments in there that I chuckle at, and I'm happy. I just have to shut my brain off when I'm watching it so that I can enjoy it.
I mean, the odd thing is this is probably my favorite episode. I thought this was maybe the best episode. It was probably the most enjoyable. Just discounting everything else, discounting lore and just some of the character motivations and all the other things. Just for pure watching sake, I actually think I like this one the most.
I can agree with that. I thought it was well done that way. All right, we still have one group to get into.
Oh, your favorite group. The old Harfoots, yep. And Meteor Man. Is he good? Is he evil? One. Is he Sauron? Who's looking for him? Who are the
White Cloaks?
Yeah, the White Cloaks from their Wheel of Time, right? I think we watched the first couple episodes of that. I didn't get into it. Yeah, you've read the books.
Not all of them, but I'm working my way through. But yes, this week with the Harfoots, they are still trucking forward. For some reason, we're taking a new path.
Where are they going? Why are they going like...
Well, see, she knows where they're going. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean, like...
not Poppy. Nori just laid out to our now who can speak, Meteor Man.
Yep.
She laid out the whole trail. This time of the year we go here. This time of the year we go here. So they know where they're going, but they take specific routes.
Can't we just find a place and, I don't know. It seems...
Because they haven't really learned how to farm yet. They're just gatherers.
I know.
They have to go places where they can gather.
I get that, but find a better way.
Remember, she has to go to the one place when Snaelin's good.
Yeah.
Snaelin.
Hey, if you don't behave, I'm going to take your wheels.
Don't eat. That was...
There's some cutthroat...
You should have taken their wheels.
Yeah,
and
take
he's
their
like,
wheels next time.
Maybe.
And then we can put them on the list of the people we're not going to leave behind but left behind.
That's leaving them behind on purpose. That's what they do. That's mean.
So is Meteor Man Gandalf, Sauron, or other?
Hey! Don't forget the cute little song that Poppy sang. Her Wandering song.
That was pretty good, actually.
It had that quote in it from actual Tolkien lore.
Yeah.
Not all those who wander.
And even just still,
lost.
it felt probably the most Tolkien thing I've seen in the show. I mean, it just had that nice kind of charm to it. Mm-hmm. It was nice.
Because that was in the letter that Gandalf sent to Frodo, trying to let him know that Strider was the king.
Yeah.
Yes. Cute little letter, and it got turned into a song, which I thought was nice. A little walking song. And
it's better than the Leave Him Behind song.
It was much better this week. Harfoot's singing improved. 10 out of 10.
Singing improved. Still cutthroat.
Still
evil little bastards.
But
get it? Come on.
Meteor Man saves them from wolves. Hurts himself.
Yes.
Pretty badly.
Yep.
Goes to heal himself. Nori interferes, and now she's terrified of him.
Yes, she sees that her arm is freezing, puts her own hand on arm, freezes it, and gets mad at him.
Yeah, she gets scared, not mad.
Well, I mean, she's probably pretty mad, too. I mean, scared and mad. Sure, why not? I mean, I can get you with startled, but it just, like, you've had so much faith in this guy. He just saved you, and, like, you can tell he was doing something. I mean, he had to figure out by now he's
magical.
A wizard or mad. You know something's up with the dude, no matter how little the Harfoots may know about, the.
And I like that they once again, like, they start at the beginning of the episode, like, he's clearly not Sauron. He's upset about the fireflies. He didn't mean to kill them.
Aw.
He's sad, and he's like, I pushed the wagon with you, we're friends. And he speaks to them now, and it's great, and he's learning about everything that they know.
Peril? Me, Peril?
Yes, he's
Yes, I think you're a Peril.
learning so much with the Harfoots and being so nice. And then at the end, they're like, he did some weird magic. Evil.
But he saved them, though. They said they've never been more welcoming of an outsider after he...
Not that one girl still wants to take his wheels. I don't know. And then at the end, they're like, here they come, the White Cloaks. They're looking down to where the meteor crashed, but they showed up weeks, months late.
It's got to be a long time
They
now.
really don't explain time very well. At least weeks late, they showed up, and they're like, we are here. We brought our fancy mirror that has that symbol carved into the back that he's looking for. The star symbol was carved onto the back of that mirror thing that one was carrying. But they're like, he's not here. What are they? What are their connection to the people who come from the sky?
I mean, I think Meteor Man is a
wizards,
Maiar of some kind.
Yeah, what is their connection to the Maiar?
I mean, I don't know.
Give me some lore.
I don't know. I don't know who they are. I mean, that...
I'm interested. I mean, they're all ladies, so...
Were they?
Yeah, all three of those were ladies.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if there's like an Amazonian group that hunts the Mylar. I think I called them Mylar.
Mylar. That's a type of
Maiar.
plastic, but that's all right.
I have so many questions. The show I find interesting and intriguing, and if I didn't know that there were so many lore inconsistencies, I'd still find these story inconsistencies that are very odd, which I'm hoping they'll fill in for me later. Like I said, I'm still enjoying watching the show. Despite all of their flaws and weird plot stuffs, I just want it to be known. I'm still enjoying the show.
There's a level of enjoyment. I think it's, like, again, when it comes to the lore, it's completely, it's gone. It's off the rails so far. It's just done. Let's not even pretend this is Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. It's just loosely based off some ideas.
A retelling of some... It's reinventing of lore that doesn't exist.
Yeah, and like I said, I do get some enjoyment, but it's not a very good show. Like, I don't think it's like... I mean, it looks gorgeous most of the time.
That's what's drawing me a lot.
You know, it's... I like fantasy in itself, so that helps. And there are things I'm like... I just want to know for the sake of knowing some of these things, so that keeps me vested to some degree. But I think the characters, just most of them are just... They fall flat. You know, I don't really care about a lot of these characters. I just... You know... I don't care what happens to the Harfoots. They seem... I know. They seem so... It's so strange because they're like supposed to be like hobbits, but they're like the cruel hobbits, so...
They're very crude, yeah.
It's... Well, not crude, but cruel, too. I mean, they're both crude and cruel, but it's very strange. I don't know why they made them so, like, kind of cutthroat like that with the whole leaving behind thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it. Like, if you're dependent on migration and, like, we got to get there this week, otherwise the fruit's not... I kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like, geez... You sing these songs.
They're taking a weird route, and they don't know, like, and Sadok's not telling anyone why. Why are we taking this route? What are you reading in the stars that tells us we have to go this way? What is important that we had to migrate early? He can tell something bad is coming, but hasn't told anyone, or including the audience, of course, what that is.
Yeah, it's not very good at conveying what in the heck is going on and why. I mean, again, I don't know if it's because they're so busy trying to...
Like, why is everything trying to make it so... Now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's because they're so worried about the dialogue being like I said, like the flowery, we must speak, you know, like this, and they just are very bad at conveying what in the heck is supposed to be going on or what it is. But I would imagine a lot of people are like us. They might really enjoy it, and there might be a lot of people who love it. But if you tried to ask them like what is going on, they'd be like, "Well, Sauron's coming back." That's it. That's all we like.
I really enjoy it unless I start thinking about it too hard, and then I get really confused and I can't enjoy it as much.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same. Like I said, I don't hate it. I think it's all right. But when you remember this is like $1 billion show, this is based on arguably the greatest work of fantasy ever. You got to be better. You know, it's like it's mediocre, but this is Tolkien. You can't have Tolkien be mediocre. He should be, you know, his work should be treated as.
He inspired so much.
Yeah, he's the father of modern fantasy, essentially. Yes.
Storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, there are others who have dealt with, you know, I'm not saying he's the first one to come up with all these ideas, but essentially we have things like D&D and, you know, all these other things today because of what he did. And so to see it kind of treated like half-assed, you're like, oh, that's kind of very disappointing. It's kind of very upsetting. when you could
Maybe
have.
instead of spending $1 billion per episode, they could have put the extra money towards buying more of the lore pieces for copyright.
Well, not per episode. I know what you meant, but per season. I mean, it was like $250 million. I think all told, it's like I don't remember what the number is, but I know this has cost them like $1 billion. So, I mean, and I think the problem is, would you see like 20 years ago? You see what Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings, and granted, it's not perfect. Like it's really good, right? It's one of the best, pieces of one of the best movies. I'm sorry, I got a cat like coming at me right now. Parkour. It's one of the best trilogies, movies all time. Yes, but it's not perfect. But when you see what was done 20 years ago, and you're like, wow, that was far superior, disappointing. Mm-hmm. Well, the cat says it's time for us to move on and play some cat games. So that's all we got for you this time. So leave your comments below. Let's talk some rings. And until next time, thanks for watching.